Hi folks, Danny here at Partey. So we're going to start out this video with a little bit of context. So I'm doing this video to repair some of the misinformation that you've been given out there around this light meter specifically, and also to the readings related to that light meter. So let's take a look. So this is the light meter, Kenneth Bird, that you've been utilizing, correct? Same one. And this is, I'm going to go ahead and tell you up front, this is not going to bode well for you in any respect. I'm not going to try to play coy or anything like that. You stepped into my world now. So I'm going to own you on this one. And this is why it's important, guys. All right, first things first. Kenneth Bird has told you that he bought this, played around with it for a day, and then by the second day, Mr. Bird is acting like he's mastered this. Mastered it. He is a professional using a professional piece of machinery, not a light meter app on a cell phone, but a professional piece of machinery. So how true is that? Well, actually, guys, it's not. And this is a nice little light meter, but it's a $40, actually less than $40 light meter. Okay? It does okay. It's not highly accurate, will not get down to the accuracy that light engineers need. As a matter of fact, as far as light meters go, keep in mind that if you go to buy a professional light meter, you're going to be into the hundreds, usually around $300 to $400 to start for a decent one, and then some of them will run all the way up to $2,000, $2,500 plus. And the reason for that is because there's ones that check specific things like color wavelength, things like that. So you have a color wavelength spectrometer in there. This doesn't have any of that. This is just a basic light meter. It's just a small step above the light meter apps that you use on your phone. Now, the way that this works is that you have your initial, which is for your initial setting. This is for low light rooms, okay? And you can see right now it's not really picking up anything, right? So we go into standard. Hold on just a second. In a range. Okay. So you go standard, you can go into times 10, and then you can go into times 100, and it'll show that identifier there for times 10 and times 100. Okay, when you're in standard, it's not going to show that. All right, it's just going to say lux right here. All right, so right now I've got the cap on. Let's take that cap off, and you'll see, ooh, it's not picking up anything. Well, that's because it's not set for standard lux. It's set for low light. So now you can see just right here, setting on the sofa right now, I'm picking up around 220 lux. Just sitting on the sofa here. I want you to look at that. There's no times 10, but there's something else that's missing that you've been seeing, or maybe you have missed in Kenneth Bird's video. So let's take a look. Ken, forget those advanced fractions. You need to meet Mr. Decimal. Not 361, but 36.1 lux. Not 968, but 96.8 lux. My favorite, 6.7 lux. 38.7 lux. 179.9 lux. 180 lux, which is the highest you've shown pretty much. 67.9 lux. And then in this demonstration, the kitten's cute, but you told everybody that it was so bright in there it's 200 lux. But let's take a look and see what it really was. 20.0. A pathetic 20 lux. All right, so let's take a look at my environment. So you've seen this before, where I do my displays, windows open. There's the dog, a dog, one of two. And there's the lux meter. So let's get in and see what it says. So 315, 316, just setting in the floor. Now this is just set at standard, so that's just 315 at the floor at that point. Now I'm going to move this thing around so you can see it in different spots. Let's take a look and see what that is. 370 something. 4 something. So we're at 400 lux. So there is, I'm showing you that that's where, I would do my displays. So I'm going to set it up there, and we're going to take a measurement at the top of where the screens would be. There you go. So now let's move it down low. See kind of what we get down here. I'm just going to set the sensor up. Try to get it so it'll stay up. That's also one of the drawbacks of this inexpensive one, is it doesn't have a latch on the back. There you go, at the bottom, and we're still pulling well over 300 lux. It's a lot of light for peppered lights throughout the environment, isn't it, Ken? So let's see, now this is underneath one of my lights, just kind of like you did on your sofa. And yours was 170 something. Let's see what mine ends up being. 587. Okay, we're going to take it over. Now this would be more extreme, but we'll do a reading over on the arm of the sofa by the window, because I don't use shears, Ken. Look at that, 1510 lux. 560 something there just in the center of the floor, and that's in between the lights. That's not directly underneath any of the lights, as you can see. So 560 something lux. All right, Ken, let's go outside. Now, if you guys look behind the clouds there, you can see the sun's actually behind the clouds. Got a good bit of cloud cover. That's important. I want you to notice that. I'm just kind of looking around, getting a bead of how the brightness looks outside. Now, I'm dubbing this because there was so much cricket noise at that time of the evening that it was just way too much. Also, pay attention in the glass. You will see a green kind of flicker like a light. That is a street light up above, just to show you how dark it was getting at this point. But what I'm doing is I'm setting up the light meter to take some reads in time 10 mode. And I'll show you that in just a second. So you can see it's in time 10 there at the bottom under the 7. You'll see it's picking up anywhere from 1800. As a matter of fact, I'll go over 2000 in just a second when I set it up. And that's because I was kind of hovering in front of the sensor. So, but you'll see now roughly 2100 plus lux outside. Okay, which is what Mr. Bird was showing you. But what he didn't show you, because this is measuring the light in the sky, which is not the same as measuring the light at a screen. See, a horizontal surface is always going to pick up more of that diffused lighting. A vertical surface is only going to pick up a portion, and then any incidental, like any of the light that would bounce up from the concrete. So we're doing now a vertical surface. I'm going to get out of the way there. vertical surface, and you can see that we're just inside 600 lux. So big difference between 2000 down to 600 when you're doing it correctly. Okay? Now I'm going to step back just to see, so you can see there was no obstructions. But then I'm going to go behind that chair there in front of us and use it as if it was a projection screen, and show you whenever you have an opaque surface, vertical surface, how it even changes it even more. Because what you're going to notice is that that takes it down to just a little over 400 lux. So we're down from 2000 to 400 lux at the screen surface, which is a big difference. But Mr. Bird didn't show you that. What he showed you was how well his screens did not hold up in light, even using a Venue projector. See here. Okay, and then I'm just taking you back. I put it out in open light again, and you can see it's 193 and times 10. So no alterations, no goofing with the instrumentation here. Now I know many of you guys predicted that Ken was going to try to fraud people with the light meter, and he has. It didn't take him but a day. But at the end of the day, Ken, you're using it wrong. Okay? You're trying to measure the sky and bright points of light like underneath your little dome lights to get the highest reading that you can, and they're still not that high. What it shows is, it proves what we've been saying all along, that your display areas are nowhere near as bright as you claim. 20 lux, come on man, 20 lux. Do you know that the moon puts out 5 to 10 at certain times? So 20 lux is nothing. And with the brightness that you're showing in that room, it just goes to show that you're rigging your camera. So you proved your own fraud, okay? You proved your own fraud by pulling out that light meter, which is exactly what I knew you were going to do. So thank you for the material. If you're going to use an instrument like that, you want to measure at the surface area of where you're going to be presenting screens. So as we go forward, we'll be showing, before we start the display, what the lux is there, the full lux count. And keep in mind, the lux counts that I showed you in my front room, Ken, that's when the sun's on this side of the house, because that room's on the other side of the house. So when I have sun that's on that side of the house coming through, that's when I do my displays. So those numbers that you saw, not even the highest in my area. So you're playing with the big boys. You're outclassed, you're outmatched. Doesn't really matter because time's running short on you. But I just wanted you to know that. Like the mom that came up to Sheriff Brody and slapped him in Jaws. I wanted you to know. You guys take care. Bye.